YouTube, what's up? My name is Kelly McDonald. Welcome to my little bitty teeny tiny review channel here. My friends kind of put me up to it, said that they thought it'd be a good idea since I like to buy stuff and I like to talk. So I think that with my experience, I could probably help some people out with making decisions on a lot of things. Got a lot of experience doing a lot of things, but mostly music. I've been in the music industry for 30 years, singer, songwriter, band leader, tour manager. I own a small sound company, part owner of a small sound company. I do a lot of recording and, you know, do this. This is my old streaming setup. So, know how to talk. I like to say certain things a lot, like, and whatnot, and all that good stuff. I say that. So sorry if that annoys you. I don't know why I do that, but I do that. So anyway, so I've done a lot. Oh, I also build guitars. So I built that bass, that guitar down there, the one that's over my other shoulder. I've built all these guys here, and then of course my beloved Godin back there. I've been with them for probably 15 years now. Great guitar. That's my main guitar, is their guitar. My electric, when I switched to my electric towards the end of the show, that's when I play one of my own built guitars. I don't build any acoustics. I do build my electrics from scratch. Take that back, actually. I'm building an acoustic guitar out of a kit that I got off of eBay. It's an ash body, or ash popping back and sides. And I just thought it looked cool and it was cheap enough. So maybe I'll do a review on that when I'm done with it. Maybe not, I don't know. But it just depends on how this goes. So I'm gonna also say that nobody has paid me to do these reviews. Nobody will be able to pay me to make up stories about their stuff. If I don't like it, I'll say it. If I like it, I'll say it. If they want to send me free stuff to test, I'm totally fine with that, but it's going to get an honest review. I'm going to try to do pros and cons. I'm not going to try to tell you to necessarily to buy something. I'm just going to give you the pros and cons from my experience. And I'm not aiming these towards like professional sound companies, okay? I'm aiming these towards like the beginning band up to like a mid-level band, right? I'm not professionals are not going to buy the stuff that I can't afford to buy. They're going to be buying much better stuff than I'm going to be able to review. So let's just get that out of the way right away. And especially just starting out, I mean, I'm buying all this stuff by myself. So that said, I've got a lot of sponsorships and I've had few sponsorships. I've had a lot over the years. I've had Wolverine boots, traditional medicinals tees. I've had Panhandle Slim. I've had GHS strings, knucklehead strings when they were around, and all that good stuff. So, like I say, got a lot of experience doing this kind of stuff, and so I figured maybe I can help you guys out. I hope I can. That's kind of the goal here, and whatnot. So, and these videos are not going to be easy to make. They got to get edited and stuff. So, anyway, that said, subscribe or whatever. It's free. So, I think I have to say that. But getting back to the sponsorships, one of my favorite sponsors, and I've been with them for a very, 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 very long time, is my Heil Sound PR22. I've been with Heil Sound for a very long time, and I love them. And I don't want to ever go on the stage and not use this mic. Problem is, they don't make wireless mics. They make a capsule that you can stick on a wireless or onto a wireless mic that you already have, but they don't make a wireless mic. I don't own a wireless already till now. This is the Joyo MW-1 system, transmitter and receiver right here. So basically turns your microphone, your favorite handheld microphone, into a wireless microphone. Pretty good idea. There's a lot of other uses for this thing, like speakers, for example. But let's just kind of go through this thing here. If you play guitar, you know the Joyo name. They make affordable pedals that are actually really good. The 4 or 5 that I've used over the years, I've really liked. Don't have any on my board right now, but I shrunk my board down substantially too, so that's probably part of it. But I'm just gonna take this off my beautiful mic here, and I'm gonna turn these things on for you guys. So there's the on button here, which is one of the cons where that on button happens to live. So they're both on now. So when your crowd's gonna see this, Nice, pretty blue ring. So I actually ran these last Saturday night for Buddy's band. About 5 hours worth of runtime on this thing, and it's still blue. When it starts to run out of battery, the ring will turn red and it will start flashing. That at that time you got a half an hour. I've tested this a few times now, all the way from all the way charged to all the way dead, and you got 6 hours roughly for the light to be blue, and then you got another half an hour to switch it out with an XLR cable or whatever the case may be. This is not going to be for a sound company that's doing any kind of like festivals, because those are like 12-hour days. It's not going to work. This is for like a band situation where they want wireless mics. So yeah, most bands are doing like a 4-set show where it's an hour and then 15 and 45, 15, 45, so on. So that's like the longest. Most of my shows are 90 minutes. So that's not a problem for me. I'm happy to have this and happy to use it. Let's get into some cons. So I'm gonna put the transmitter down. There's no problem with the transmitter whatsoever. No cons to that. The receiver is where the the receiver is where the cons are. So first of all, there's only 4 channels available. It's 5.8 gigahertz, which is a major pro. But there's only 4 channels available. So here's how you change the channels. You take the receiver. Here's the receiver's here, transmitter's here. Watch the receiver. Boom, boom, boom. They sync up. It's beautiful. Okay. So getting back to the cons here. First of all, this thing, not unlike me, is pretty chubby. So I tested this on my DL32 Mackie the other day, and you cannot fit 2 side by side. So our personal, for my band, our channels are 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's our vocal channels. And there's no way I can pop these 2 side by side, or 4 side by side, but you can't pop 2 side by side. That's one of the problems also. So 4 channels only is a problem. So you can only run 4 of these, because I'd run 10 of them. I'd make everything wireless if I could. So that is kind of a pet peeve of mine. The on button. So this is how it's going to be sitting inside of your mixer, right? Oriented that way. Well, say this is channel 1, right? How are you going to turn that on? You're going to have an XLR cable right here. So you have to turn this on, pair it up, and then plug it in, which is kind of a pain in the butt. I don't know why the power button isn't up on the top. But that said, that's really the problem. So to fix the problem of them being too chubby, you just put an XLR cable in between. Problem solved. For most bands, you may or may not have extra XLR cables laying around, so you're gonna have to buy a few really short XLR cables. I think the shortest I've seen is like maybe a foot, or maybe 3 feet actually. I'm trying to think if I'm kind of thinking about patch cables for my guitar, but anyway, you'll have to buy a small XLR cable to run in between. So I've talked about the time usage on these things. I've had no dropouts. I've run back and forth across my house through a door. There's a door in between, and had no dropouts. Very, very little delay. It's about 65 feet that way. So most people aren't really moving that far. Anybody that's using this is not going to probably go more than 65 feet. I'm just going to say that. I know if you're a bass player, you're not going to move at all. But man, already starting in with this. But I'm just kidding. Or am I? But anyway. So that said, the range is really, really good on these things, especially line of sight. Like I said, I was going through a door, so I had no dropouts, no funny business, just a tiny, tiny bit of delay, just barely noticeable, but it was noticeable. So I'm not going to even bother doing a sound check with these and go through all that trouble, because I'm just going to tell you this right now. These sound just fine. They sound really good especially for the price, which I'll get into. But they sound really, 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 really good. Not quite as good as a cable, but we're talking about live stuff. If you're trying to use this to record with, something's wrong, and you need to just buy some cables. I'm just going to put it that way. Can't run these with a condenser mic anyways, because there's no phantom power available. So you'd have to run a phantom power and then run it on the other side of the phantom power, and it's just a pain in the butt. Just get an XLR cable if you're running a condenser mic. If you got C1000 AKGs, they got a battery in them. You can go ahead and do that if you want. I don't know why you would, but you could go ahead and do that if you want. So yeah, so the range is good. The battery power lasts a really long time. You got 4 channels. It's 5.8 gigahertz. A little story on the 5.8 gigahertz. So recently I did a show, did sound for a show on a stage at the Campbell Boogie Festival, okay? And that place was packed with people all day. My board is an Mackie DL32R. I run off an iPad. There's no control surface other than an iPad. I kept losing connection. Like I've never had problems like that before. Once in a while you lose connection, you get too much meat people in between you and the your iPad and the router on the Mackie. You'll run into that kind of problem, but usually it's not a really big deal. They move out of the way or you move and you get regain connection. Well, this one I couldn't regain connection at this show. And it's because the 2.4 gigahertz is completely crowded with Apple Watches. You got earbud, everything Bluetooth is basically there. Most Wi-Fi is there still. So the 5.8 gigahertz is a really big deal. I switched my iPad to 5.8 gigahertz, switched the router over to 5.8 gigahertz, and I've had 0 dropouts, 0 freezes, 0 any problems. It's been just flawless. So keep that in mind. If you're buying wireless right now, you need to be trying to get in the 5 gigahertz. The 2.4 is just getting way too crowded. And if you play in the city a lot, or where a lot of people are, hopefully your shows are packed. But if you're playing with where there's a lot of people, you're going to have problems. So just try to get into the 5 gigahertz. Like I said, let's get to the price here. So this is the Joyo brand. Like I say, if you, there we go, right side up. If you play guitar, you know who Joyo is. Joyo, if you want to send me stuff, that's totally up to you. I'd like to do reviews on all your stuff. But the thing is these sell under the name, I wrote it down, Lakato. And I actually saw Scott Yule, I think is his name. Long hair guy, does great reviews. That's the guy we should all aspire to be. Very, very good reviews. I think he did the Lakato brand, but they are the exact same thing. I don't know who makes them, but I'm just going to go by the name that's on there. So this is the Joyo. The Lakato brand currently, I checked before earlier today, is $110 on Amazon. Then you've got the Joyo brand, which is is $99 on Amazon right now. And this is the 13th of August 24th. And these particular ones, you can get them on Carvin's website. I'll let you go ahead and look that up because that price is wild. These babies, I got $50 a set. So transmitter, receiver, box, charging cable, $50 from a company called, wrote that down too, Tesi Switch, TESI Switch on eBay. And these were open box and they're $50. $50. I mean, you can't beat that. So I went ahead and bought one set to test. Once I tested it, I bought 3 more. And they offered a discount, volume discount. If you buy 2 or more, you get a discount. Or if you buy 3 or more, you get a discount. So anyway, Tesi, TESI Switch. That's where I got mine. They're not paying me. They don't know who I am. But I just wanted to get the information out to you guys so you could save the money if you're into open box stuff. I obviously am because I bought 4 of them. Like I say, what about 10 if I could have had more channels? So one of the things that I'm planning on using these for, and one of the reasons why I bought them to begin with, is it's a problem solver for me in a couple of ways. Obviously, I can have a wireless mic, which is really cool. But we do a crab feed every year. Up in Half Moon Bay, California, and I've been doing it since 1999. And that room is one of the toughest rooms that I've ever had to do sound in my entire life. And I have to do it every year. And I love it. I love the people there. I've watched those kids grow up. I've watched the kids grow up and have kids and all that stuff. So it's pretty badass. But the problem is that it's a very long, narrow, tall, old building. And you've got tables during the crab feed, and we're talking like 400 people and they're talking at the same time. Well, over 400. But so you've got a bunch of tables lined up and people are eating crab, and we are up on the stage and we are doing announcements. We are doing raffle prizes. They raffle a bunch of stuff off there. And the problem is that you have a long building, 60 or 70 feet from us on the stage to the bar in the back. And during the crab feed time, we're announcing, the people are right there. They're getting blasted because we got to get all the way to the back. Speakers are way up high in the air, so they're, you know, can reach back there. Those tables will clear when we're done, and then you got a dance floor. Well, we're gonna destroy their ears trying to get to the back, because everyone goes back to the bar after they're done eating. That's not dancing, and they're back there yelling and having a good time and stuff. So the key is to be able to reach from our stage, from our mains, all the way to the back without murdering the ears of the people that are on the dance floor. So that said, you can run a long XLR cable, because we run in powered speakers, running a long XLR cable to some side fills, which is a great idea. But the problem is you got a dance floor, so you'd have to run it way back and around. It's just a weird layout to do that. So this is going to solve that problem for me. I'm going to run these. I'm going to plug this bad boy into my my main speaker, and I'm going to run this over to my side fill, and then that's going to solve that problem for me. So we already have plugs on the wall, so I'm not going to have to run any cabling whatsoever to those side fills. So it's going to be perfect for that use. I could see like a local band using these things, obviously on mics, but you can use them on your floor monitors if you're still using floor monitors. We've been on in-ears forever now, but you could do that. I mean, you can get an adapter to turn these into 1/4 inch if you wanted to. Don't know why, but just in case you wanted to, you can go ahead and do that. Drummers, if you're a singing drummer, this is a good idea. I mean, you technically should probably be using like a head-worn mic, so you're not getting all that snare and hi-hat stuff. But technically, if you've got this on your mic, plug this bad boy back in. I mean, you can see how bright that is. So you spin that out to the side in a dark room, and at least you'll be able to see it. So when you grab it, you can pull it back in. You're not going to catch your hi-hat or your stick bag or your knee or any whatever cocoon you make yourself back there, drummers. I don't get that either, but nonetheless. So yeah, so other than that, like, there's not a whole lot else to say about these things. I'm just going to kind of reiterate the pros and the cons. We'll start with the cons. So the cons are, you can only get 4 of them. You can only use 4 at a time because there are only 4 channels. The on switch is kind of in the way when you're with your transmitter. So when it's in your mixer, the next channel over is going to be, you're not going to be able to hit the on button. So you got to get that started up, plug it in first. It's got a micro USB. I don't know why we're still using those. I had a flip phone like 15 years ago that I think I was charging with that. Must be still good because it's still working, but I don't know. Everything else I have is USB-C nowadays. That's just not really a problem or anything like that, but just to say, it's a little bit chubby like me. That's a problem, believe me. And so you can't go side by side, so you're gonna have to run an XLR. That's another con. I think that covers the cons. The pros are, it's 5.8 gigahertz. It works really well for a really long time, and it's very affordable if you get them from, well, no matter where you get them, I'd still, this is worth $100 to me. Or 110 for the Lakato right now on Amazon. So the place again is called Tessi Switch, Tesi Switch, on eBay that I got these from. Like I say, I don't know them, they don't know me. They just have them for a good price, and I want you to get them for a good price because they're really good, and I highly recommend them. But like I say, you make your own decision. All I can do is put the facts as I see them out there for you. Thank you, Joyo. If you want to send me anything, hit the email address in my bio here on the YouTube channel. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much going to wrap this thing up for me. I hope this is informative to you. The next thing we're going to do is another wireless, but this is going to be for a guitar, and it's a very affordable, another 5.8 gigahertz deal, but it's got some flaws that I want to talk to you guys about. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, share, whatever. All the normal spiel. I won't tell you to smash it, but everybody likes to say smash that subscribe button. I don't know. I'm an old man. So anyway, I hope this helped you guys out to make a decision on these things. Just really good. And great job, Joyo, or whoever's making these. But your name's on it, so I'm going to say great job, Joyo. Just move that power button and you have the best thing ever. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.